Hi guys, I am Bernadette of Hey Bernadette, and I wanted to show you how I glaze my polymer clay jewelry. I use Rust-Oleum Varathane polyurethane gloss. Don't use the other kinds, just use gloss. It's crystal clear, it's awesome. It stinks really bad, but the glazes tend to stink anyway, so don't let that deter you. It comes in a little can. You can get it in a gigantic can if you need a gigantic can. If you're doing polymer clay jewelry, you don't really need a giant can. It was $13 on Amazon when I bought it. I think today it's something like $17, so it's a little pricey, but if you're doing professional work, or if you're doing a lot, or if you just want the best, this is definitely the way to go. If you don't need something as fancy as this and you don't want to spend that much, you can use the Americana brand Dura Clear Gloss Varnish. I got this at Michael's. It's widely available. It's next to the acrylic paint. It's not as good at all. This is really, I mean, this stuff is a monster. I love it. This will get you by. I used this for a while in my shop, and I was never completely satisfied with it. It doesn't look professional to me, but I'm certain that a lot of people use it and a lot of people like it. So if you have this and you're using this and it's like $3 or something, that's fine. This is good. This is fine. This will get you by. But if you want the best, this is definitely it. That said, it will wreak havoc on your brushes, so you're going to want to clean them out when you're done. I use the Masters brush cleaner and preserver. It's a little soap cake for cleaning your brushes. You can use, this is good for most artist paints, if not all, and it gets it right out. Okay, so I have a pair of strawberries that I made and painted, and they're ready to go. They're all cleaned up. These are pierced ear earrings, and I use titanium findings, so these are titanium. You can use whatever you've got if you're making your jewelry, but I'm going to make a little video about how I glue them up and all that good stuff. But I only mention the titanium because it's awesome. It's wonderful. My ears are very sensitive, and I can only use titanium pierced earring findings, so that's all I use for my shop. So here's a pair. Here are the earrings. And you're going to need your brush. I use a size 8 round. This is just a cheapy brush I got. It's for acrylic paints. I got it at Michael's. It might even be their brand. It's nothing fancy, but it will work absolutely fine. It's nice and soft, but it's firm enough that it'll hold its shape. It's not like a watercolor brush that would just go bleh. And then I always blow off or brush off what I'm about to glaze. I don't want any dust in my glaze. And I'm very careful when I glaze, extremely careful, to not get any dust or anything in it. So here we go. I'm going to get a little bit of the gloss on my brush, just a little bit on the tip there. And I start on the front. You can get it in the little creases. You can start wherever, but I start on the front. And it really brings out the color. I hope you can see that on there, because it really just fills in all the roughness of the surface, and it makes the color so much brighter. It's really, really fun to put it on because it's so pretty. It makes everything look really good. And I'm glazing these little sweeties. And I do a thin coat. You don't want to do a really thick coat because it can crack and just look yucky. And you want it to be even. And then I go around the back. This is tricky, don't drop it. And then I brush the back as well. And I always, always, always finish my pieces. I always glaze them. I know not every polymer clay artist does, but I always do, for 2 reasons. One, it just looks better to me. It looks so much more finished with a nice glossy coat on there. And also it protects it from dirt and abuse. So here's something else you're going to need. You're going to need a tweezers, because you might think to yourself, well, shoot, I can't set it down. It's going to stick to everything. Grab it with the tweezers, and I keep some crafting foam, what is this stuff called? Floral foam. Poke it in your floral foam so that it doesn't touch, and it'll be fine, and just let it dry that way. So now, go ahead and do the other one. Just a nice shiny coat of gloss on there. Looks pretty cute. So we'll let that dry. Poke it again in our, grab it with the tweezers, and poke it in my foam. So there they are, they're ready to go. I have some other things I'm going to glaze up today, just for fun. I'll show you. I don't need to show you how to glaze them because it's pretty simple. You just paint the glaze on. I have some Sherlock IOU apples from that famous scene with Moriarty dishing out death threats over tea. And then this was a custom request from a buyer, or a customer rather, a buyer. It's an IOU charm because her ears aren't pierced. It was a pretty cute idea. So I'll probably list this in my shop once I get it finished because it's adorable and it was really fun to make. So anyway, I hope this helped you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments. I would love to answer your questions. I hope I can help.